Hello, YouTubers out there. This is Boob Wasteland Show with your host, Jerry Saravia. And today I'm going to review a couple of episodes of Russell Brand's talk show, Brand X, which premiered in the beginning of June of 2012 on FX. And FX had just recently announced that the show will continue. It's been renewed for 6 additional episodes starting in October. And this is a late night half-hour comedy series that appears once a week on FX, not a nightly show, or daily show rather, like Conan O'Brien's show, or Tonight Show, Jay Leno, or Jimmy Kimmel, and so on and so forth. So this is a talk show, a comedy talk show, and I thought, well, we have enough of those already. How many more do we need? And what can Russell Brand do to make it different? Because the format for a lot of these shows is the same. It's, they do their opening monologue, these comics, and they then do another little bit, and then there's a skit of some kind, and then a guest, and then a musical number at the end, and there you go. But Russell Brand show is very different. First of all, it's a half hour, so already that's limiting some of the time in which you can do the usual formula for a format, a show of this format. The working title initially was Strangely Uplifting, then changed to Brand X. And basically what Russell Brand does, and for those of you who don't know Russell Brand, I would imagine a lot of you do, but he's probably best known in this country, unfortunately, as Katy Perry's ex-husband. But he's also appeared in films like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Him to the Greek. Forgetting Sarah Marshall might be my favorite with him. He's done some stand-up comedy specials, and so on and so forth. He's a British comedian. And Arthur, which I did enjoy, the remake of the Dudley Moore film. Not as much as the original, and the critics seem to dismiss it for the most part, but I enjoyed it. So I wondered, well, what is he going to do? And in fact, what he does on the show is he comes up on stage, he has a microphone, and he has a political analyst named Matthew Stoller, who sits at a small desk and analyzes the news stories which Russell Brand comments on. And a lot of these stories are little things, like urinating on a picnic table, or having sex with a picnic table, or things of that nature. Weird stories, not just the traditional news stories. Matthew Stoller is on the show. He's a political analyst and used to work, or maybe still does, in Congress, I don't know. The stage set contains 2 television screens with pictures of the people and news articles. And Russell Brand is fairly close to these screens and discusses them, and then he goes out into the audience and he wants their opinion on something, whatever it may be. And sometimes he sits on the lap of not just the women, but on men's laps. And, he's prancing around. He's Russell Brand. He's like a live wire personality. Now, for me, I actually enjoyed this show because there was one episode in particular that I really liked, which sometimes he brings in a guest, not all the time thus far, but the most notable guest was the creator of Sons of Anarchy, who was on the show. And in this particular episode, they were discussing violence on film, television, news, and in reference to the unfortunate Aurora, Colorado shooting. And they also had a professor in the audience who gave his 2 cents about the fact that America is in a better place than it used to be in terms of violence, that we are much safer, which is really not the truth. But anyway, but the show was very interesting and somewhat moving. And also he had an episode with that basketball player, and his name does not come to me right. Meta World Peace, and kind of enjoyed that little interview. It was very brief, and then he's back to engaging the audience and trying to get their opinion on something, and then he presents his opinion. And one of the things he said, I think it was the first couple of episodes or so, he said that all religions aim for the same things, and that religious wars are created by media sensationalism. So he's very funny, very thoughtful, but can say things that can be controversial, and that's good. We need more of that. We need Bill Maher that appears on on regular network TV as opposed to just cable, HBO or Showtime, whatever. Only thing I don't care for the telepathic live mice who ask questions about Russell Brand and his jokes, and that feels a little forced and not necessary, but in keeping, I suppose, with the tone of the show, which is uh, really laid back, and he prances around the stage and really makes use of it. Not crazy about Matt Stoller overall. I would. I don't think we need to hear from somebody giving us statistics and then Russell Brand just making fun of him anyway. But overall, not a bad show and a little different than the norm, which is the usual late night talk show stuff. So seems to be doing okay in the ratings, and they ordered more episodes, and we'll see what he does next. I do like Russell Brand. He's not for everyone. I imagine he's more of an acquired taste to some degree because of his views and because he uses humor to sort of bring people out of their nest eggs, so to speak, and break out of it and look at things from his observational standpoint. So I say watch the show. I enjoyed it. Again, not for everyone. The celebrity guests are iffy sometimes, but the Sons of Anarchy one that appear, the creator, and also Meta World Peace, I enjoyed. So I would say definitely give this show a look. And once again, it's going to be back on in October. And check it out. If you like Russell Brand, definitely do check it out. I read some comments that the stage itself and the audience, which is relatively young, that it looks as if they used the bare minimum budget to create this, but so what? Who cares? He makes use of it, and he, deals with the audience in ways that other late night talk show hosts don't. I don't know what it is. He seems to embrace them. He doesn't judge, and I like that. So check it out. And this is the Boob Wasteland Show with your host, Jerry Saravia, signing off.